Hi there, this is Linda Quillin, and what an honor to speak to you today about our Mary Kay culture. You know, this is really important because it affects our perceptions, influences our behaviors, and even shapes our personalities. I think it's the invisible bond that ties us together, and for that matter, to our heritage. Our values serve as the founding principles of our life and shape our thinking, our behavior, and our personality. Our Mary Kay culture is the go-give, golden rule way of living and working. Because we continue to perpetuate these principles, we are the envy of other companies. Our go-give spirit is unequaled, and it's the one thing that sets us apart, the very essence our company was built on by Mary Kay, with each of us joining hands, sharing our ideas, and helping each one to rise higher. God has truly blessed that spirit of sharing. And now that same spirit that Mary Kay began this business in 1963 continues to spread around the world today. What a legacy, with you and I keeping that alive. We are part of this miracle of God, this go-give spirit that began with the concept that if you have an idea and share with me, and I have an idea and share with you, we've both grown. But if you keep yours to yourself and I do the same, we don't. I've always loved the wide open way of sharing with an open heart and to treat others the way we would have them treat us. Our careers literally blossom in proportion to the measure of care and love we send into the lives of others. And Mary Kay Ash sets such a great example of just how to grow, how to build, and how to run a successful business with heart. That heart is the pulsating center that supplies the life force. In our company, this force is called the go-give spirit, that willingness to help one another. Mary Kay often reminded us that we are not just selling cosmetics, no way, but we're empowering others' lives. There were so many lessons that I learned from Mary Kay. I had the distinct privilege of sitting at her feet, learning by her teachings, as well as by observing how she lived and worked in real life. Truly, one of the richest blessings of my life was to have been touched and influenced in such a profound and life-changing way by Mary Kay Ash. Of course, the example of being others-focused, no one does it like her. She was all about building relationships. And I learned so much in my DIQ week, especially that one full day of her teaching to us. And it would just seem like it was just so amazing. And I just wanted to stop time and take it all in. When she marched into the room, she had such a style about her, elegance but peppy and so wise and witty. She taught, and then the day that we went to her home and she served us her baked cookies, and we spent time going through her closet or having pictures made in her bathtub. And I had the privilege of sitting beside her in her living room with her fur person, Gigi. And I remember her taking my hands in hers, looking me straight into my eyes, deep into me. And she said, Linda, inside that starter kit are dream homes, pink cars, diamonds, trips, and much more. Anything and everything you desire, as long as you're willing to work for it through parties and classes. And her eyes never left me. And she just squeezed my hands and said, you can do this. She didn't look at you, really. It seemed as if she looked in you, really seeing you. And like I said, just the two of you were there. May we strive to be present in the moment as Mary Kay was, and to remember that invisible sign around each person, make me feel important. Work it to the nth degree. Mary Kay truly showcased daily the very epitome of a servant's heart, and to speak into others and appreciate and celebrate others. Her lessons were caught by example, by example, by example. She never asked us to do anything she hadn't done or wasn't willing to do. And I remember one particular leadership She was more than a little ticked off at the lack of shows being held by her directors, and she knew we needed to in order to grow and thrive. So she challenged us to each go home and hold a 10-show week. She proceeded to show us exactly how it was done by dusting off her starter kit, by booking and holding her own 10-show week. Mary Kay had no time or patience for negativity. She was a walking flip the coin on situations, focusing on the very positive side of things. She was, you might say, a glass half full lady. Life is a sales job, isn't it? She showed us how important it was to fake it till you make it. When I first heard her say it, I thought it wasn't honest. But when I truly listened to what she was teaching, I learned it wasn't artificial, but just a positive way of acting. Act as if. What a lesson. People want to do business with busy, positive, happy, successful people. So my mantra and continues today, what would Mary Kay say? What would Mary Kay do? How would she act, drive, dress? When she asks how you are, your response better be great or unbelievable with heartfelt enthusiasm, I might add. I remember her sharing that our voice is the most important voice that our mind hears, especially out loud. Our culture of passing it forward allows Mary Kay's wisdom and heart to transcend from generation to generation, and it's so evident in our Mary Kay world today. I know she'd be proud. But we must never let our guard down on this, as it's so vital. And, you know, Mary Kay was a great note writer. She always said the faintest ink is worth the greatest retaining memory, and she practiced that. I have my own warm, fuzzy file of all the notes she wrote me over the years and cherish every one of them, so precious. The power of the pen, dropping a note of encouragement. Also, nominating a sister sales director for the Go Give, we must not let go of this and become exceedingly proactive in this regard. Can we talk just a bit about work ethic? Well, Mary Kay was at the top of the ladder in this regard. She caused me to up my game, which I thought was pretty darn good. But not only in what activity I'm doing, it's all about growing people. That's where our business is, heart to heart, isn't it? But also how I speak, the tone with excitement and act, put it into action. She always sits beside me from my early years through today. Every time I get behind the wheel of that gorgeous pink rolling trophy, I want to make sure I'm dressed the Mary Kay way, because her whispers of wisdom in my ear, she's made me want to not only be a better leader, but a better person. And I have to admit, there's been many times that I've had to go back in and get a little cuter because I can visualize Mary Kay's eyebrow going up and saying, maybe we can do a little better. Now, another word pops out when I think of Mary Kay in the culture is integrity, where our word is our bond. It's a commitment, and that's a part of building this all-important integrity, isn't it? Commitment, the ability to carry out a resolution long after the mood in which you made the resolution left you. Commitment is a decision. She made me want to do what I do to the very best of my ability, even today. And image, I talked a little bit about it, but it's really critical today. And the thing is, we don't have to worry about the whole thing a lot of times since we're doing Zoom and Facebook, so it's just from the waist up. But image is important. Dress for the position you aspire to. Strive to rise. Mary Kay always said that. Mary Kay Ash was the epitome of class, elegance, and grace. When she spoke of the all-important 80-20 rule, that's so valuable in our world today as much as it was in 79 and 80 and 85. And that simply is, don't share your troubles with others. 80% don't care, and the other 20% think you've got what's coming to you. She was so smart, so wise, and had such a way of teaching tough lessons with humor. I remember early in the company's history a story was shared about Mary Kay. She paid the employees' salaries through her sales from parties. This one particular day, it was imperative she have a good class in order to meet payroll. How would you feel about having to have a great class to meet payroll? That was Mary Kay. She held the class, and it was a zero sale. She packed her bags into her car and drove to the end of the street and pulled over and wept, thinking to herself, Mary Kay, how can we survive and grow if I can't even make a sale? So she held a pity party for about a minute and moved on to her next appointment, and the rest is history. I often think, what if Mary Kay had let that zero show stop her? You know, also, there's a great lesson here in the importance of always having another appointment to go to, isn't there? My first trip, top director trip, was London with Mary Kay. And one morning she was seated at my breakfast table, and she was so funny and so real, and she just could speak about anything to anyone, and had the ability to make anybody feel at ease and comfortable. Later in that week, we were touring Windsor Castle, and I felt a gentle tap on my shoulder, and I looked around. It was Mary Kay with that twinkle in those gorgeous blue eyes. She was practically dancing. She held her foot out and was tapping it, and she said, we have the same style, don't we? And I looked down at her feet, and she was tapping her gold LA Gear tennis shoes, the same as ones that I was wearing. I still have those very shoes to this day, and they will go to the grave with me, I'm sure. What a treasure. I remember one particular time I'd had a really rough day. My Scotty had died, and I was struggling with the loss of him. And when I got home, there was a call on my answering machine. Somehow Mary Kay had gotten word of McTavish's death, and she called me to make sure I was okay and to share how much her fur people gave her comfort. She just wanted me to know she understood the sadness I was feeling. It's not a child that I lost, but it was my dog. Who does that anyway? That's our founder. You see, it's up to you and me to be Mary Kay to our community, our unit, our sister directors, and our company by perpetuating the core of what our company was founded on by our leader, Mary Kay. We must work to keep our priorities in order, work with the golden rule as our touchstone of acts, remembering the all-important invisible sign that everyone wears, make me feel important, and treat them that way. Because of Mary Kay's example and the mentorship from Daylene White and other NSDs and sister sales directors and corporate staff, I am a better person, and my life is so much fuller. My first seminar, I wasn't quite sure what I'd gotten into, but my director had encouraged me to attend. I was just 4 months old in the company, having just relocated across the country, and had held only a handful of appointments. You see, at that point, I was in Mary Kay. I'd signed an agreement. But when I returned from seminar, Mary Kay was in me and burns brighter and stronger today, going from being a job hopper of about 3.5 months at any one job to 42 years and strong in this business. You could say I am a lifer. In closing, you see, it's imperative for us to keep at the forefront Mary Kay's principles, her legacy, her culture, by remembering always that we are in the people-building business first, and develop that all-important heart-to-heart relationship. So our team not only are in Mary Kay, but more importantly, Mary Kay gets in them. That's when magic happens, doesn't it? Mary Kay's mission is not just about selling the best product on the planet. It's about enriching women's lives. It's about each of us passing on the gifts that Mary Kay gave each of us. She often referred to her sales directors as her daughters, and to encourage us to have balance in our lives, that we could be successful in our businesses and our families at the same time, and have Mary Kay in each of us rather than merely being in Mary Kay. When Mary Kay began in 1963, her intention was to change the lives of a few people. Instead, you and I are changing the world by remaining steadfast in perpetuating her guiding principles. There is an adage that says it well. The love in your heart wasn't put there to stay. Love isn't love until you give it away. And Mary Kay proved that over and over again. Ladies, as we continue to grow and mentor others, let's keep in mind whose name is reflected on our products, in our business, and to think like Mary Kay. Allow Mary Kay to be in us. Lead us to develop our own successful businesses by seeing the people, showing the products, and sharing the plan with all our heart. STP, our ultimate fuel for great success. May we always remember that happiness and success in Mary Kay are contingent upon helping others. Our careers will blossom in proportion to the measure of care and love we send into the lives of others. May we challenge ourselves to plant those love seeds today with our sister directors and consultants and clients, and we will be blessed as we pass it forward the Mary Kay way. And thank you for allowing me to share a brief moment of memories with you about our fearless leader and our amazing business. We must never let this go. It is your responsibility, and it is mine to pass it forward. Thank you.